Heads up, we are tracking a strong Arctic front and multiple chances for winter weather in the eastern U.S. starting Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. I'm meteorologist Andrew Markowitz, and here's what you need to know. So far, 2026 has been off to a mild start across the majority of the U.S., especially over the central U.S., including the plains down through most of Texas. However, things are about to get a lot more interesting as a blocking pattern returns to the North Pacific, specifically in Alaska. This forces the jet stream to dip way to the south, allowing Arctic air to return to the eastern half of the U.S., similar to what we saw throughout December. On Wednesday, January 14th, an Arctic front will descend from Canada to the Great Lakes and will then make its way to the northeast. As it does so, we will see rain changing to snow as cold air comes in from the northwest. With this storm, we are actually tracking two separate pieces of energy. One is the cold front over the interior northeast, and the other is a secondary storm developing over the deep south. This poses two main questions. Number one, how far south can that northern piece of energy dig? And number two, will they phase together and become a powerful nor'easter? There were some models that actually showed this phase occurring and this developing into a pretty wicked nor'easter, but that's no longer happening. Frankly, the pattern does not support it. The overall trend so far this winter has been for weak, fast-moving storms associated with the northern stream that remain disconnected with the subtropical jet that has been subdued. That is actually very common during La Nina winters, which we are currently in the middle of. The rule of thumb is the best snows tend to be just north and west of the center of the 500 millibar low. Based on the forecast positioning of the storm, that would favor the interior northeast, especially areas west of the Appalachians. On the other hand, for the coast, including the I-95 big cities, winds will be mostly from the southeast while precipitation is falling, which means that this will be a mostly rain event. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a little bit of snow at the very end of the storm, but otherwise not going to be a big deal there. In general, though, accumulating snow is possible as far south as the mountains of western North Carolina, while plowable snow is possible in northeastern Ohio, the Allegheny Mountains, and much of upstate New York and northern New England. However, this is just one of a series of clipper systems that will track across the region, which will bring more opportunities for winter weather along with bitter cold. Now, it is way too early to get into details, but most of you will have at least a shot of seeing some snow, including as far south as parts of Tennessee, the Carolinas, and northern Georgia. On the other hand, the western U.S. will continue to be under the influence of a powerful ridge, which means that snow prospects look pretty grim for at least the next week. For more updates on winter weather, please make sure to follow me on all social media platforms so you can stay weather aware.